Yo, what's happening, people? Welcome to the United Community. We're back again and finished my exams. Woohoo! That's a bonus. And also did my homework. The summer homework, I should say, really. So yeah, that's a boost. And now I'm free for the channel, free for my life, free for my trainings, I guess. So we'll see what happens with that. So lots to get into, really. Jadon Sancho to Manchester United. So here we go soon. Kieran Trippier, Rafael Varane. Really interesting about things coming out for Rafael Varane. So loads to get into. So yeah, let's start off with let's open up and check. Um, um, so glad to be back. Really, it's such it helps me relax, helps me like think. Oh, I'm gonna do this video when this and that. So let's start off with the most credible man, Fabrizio Romano. So he came out and said like Manchester United is still negotiating with the deal. The Borussia Dortmund still want 95 million pounds, but Manchester United bidding is still for 85 million euros, and not pounds, 95 million euros and 95 million pounds. And Manchester United have um, offered a bid that's 85 million pounds. For God's sake, 85 million euros. So we'll see what happens with that. I think it's a here we go soon. I think Jadon Sancho is going to arrive at Old Trafford. See what's going to happen with that. Then he came out with another tweet saying Manchester United told Borussia Dortmund they are prepared to pay 85 million for Jadon Sancho. Add-ons included as part of the negotiation to reach an agreement soon. So that probably says like that's a here we go soon, really. And Borussia Dortmund still asking for 95 million euros guaranteed. Clubs in talks about add-on structure. Jaden made it clear he wants Manchester United. So two things we're gonna take away from that. Number one, Borussia Dortmund are in a terrible situation, not situation they were in last year, because last year it was a one horse race. Jadon Sancho had 3 years on his contract. He was going about for 120 million, and Borussia Dortmund had all the power, but Manchester United haven't managed to do so. And the second thing is that like an agreement to reach an agreement soon. So that looks like it's very close, um, very close to agreeing something. So we're gonna see what happens with that. Um, so yeah, that's about Jadon Sancho really. Now look, what is he gonna bring to the team? Are we underrating him? I think we are. I think Southgate's proud for not choosing him. I think you should choose him against instead of that Man City Pratt Raheem Sterling. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll see how Southgate will line up against Germany. But I'm a German fan, like not because I'm German, because I'm a big fan of Germany. So we'll see what happens with that as well. Now, what will he bring to the team? He will add depth. His quality is absolutely fantastic, no doubt about that. But I think 85 million pounds should be spent elsewhere. Now, look, I'm gonna be completely honest here. It's all about opinion. If you don't like it, you have to respect it. So that's part of the community. Now, when I say CDM might not be a priority, then I think it might not be a priority. I'll tell you why. Because firstly, I think I know McTominay and Fred have been absolute twats the entire season, but the last couple of games, McTominay looked solid, and in the final of the Europa League, like the final of the Europa League, when all of us expected him to be uh, a twat as always. He actually got man of the match. So like, I feel McTominay that he could play in the CDM position next season. We'll see what happens with that. But I think the entire community is underrating Scott McTominay, because when I hear people talking about Scott McTominay, they always say what a player he is and things this and that, whatever his height, his strength, whatever. But we don't give him the respect that he deserves, or not that it's the respect that he deserves, but I think we're underrating him a bit. I think he quite gets, how should I say it? He adds to the team so much, leadership, quality, strength, height. I Because we lack CDMs, and I think that we don't have a CDM that's physical, or can have the ball or do this and that. I think that's why the McTominay is playing. But in the end of the last season, I've got to be completely honest. He put on man of the matches performances. To be honest, um, so yeah, we'll see what happens with that. So on to Jadon Sancho. So what he can play. People saying that his actual position is left wing. So I don't know about that, but that's a big, big, big positive. Because when we think that he can play right wing and left wing, that's a positive. Because when you've got an injured Marcus Rashford, you can put Jadon Sancho. There's no excuses now to say that you don't have a bench. You do have a Jadon Sancho, and you spent your entire money on Jadon Sancho, and if you sacrifice the CDM for Jadon Sancho, so I think that or all his job and his jeopardy, dignity is on the line. Because when you spend your £75 million, 75 million euros, 85 million euros, whatever, on Jadon Sancho, and you're wanting him for 2 seasons, he adds a lot to the team. But if you don't play him instead of an injured Marcus Rashford, or somebody who's underperforming, then Solskjaer is Pratt, and it's weird coming out from an Ole inner. But I think when you don't replace Jadon Sancho with players that are underperforming, like let's say he can play instead of Marcus Rashford, he can definitely play instead of Mason Greenwood, because Mason Greenwood isn't even a right winger and he's a striker. So I think that our depth next season, attacking wise, is gonna be decent, incredible. And um and on the midfield, we thought our midfield was good last season, but we didn't realize how much of CDM that we lost. We lost Matic. Like, no one tells me that Matic is still in the club. I know he's still in the club, but he doesn't play at all. Or when he plays like less minutes than everybody, because like he's 33, 34, which is like, when you look at people like Fernandinho, players like that, like they're still playing, while Nemanja Matic and Juan Mata burnt out. I don't know, like, I just don't know why Man United players, old people, like, burn out fast. Like, they're not even old people. They're 34, 33. Cristiano Ronaldo's 36, and he broke the Euros record and scoring every bloody game in Euros. So I think they're like, I don't know. I'm not what do you call it? I don't know. I'm not a doctor, to be honest, to say why is his knees not doing it anymore. So it's a bit sad, to be honest, because if we had a prime Matic, then I would say we're title contenders next season. But as I say that, don't underestimate Scott McTominay next season, because I think he might bring a lot to the table. Um, as I said, his performances at the end of the season were insane. He got man of the match against the Europa League final against. Who did we play in the Europa League final? I don't want to remember. I can't remember. Villarreal, yeah, Villarreal. Such a sad night, wasn't it? But yeah, I thought he was at the end of the season was good. So back to the Jadon Sancho yet again. So what would Jadon Sancho do? He can play right wing, he can play left wing, he can play center attack and mid, he can play instead of Bruno, Greenwood, Ahmad, Rashford. I think Ahmad is gonna be a central player next season. I think he's gonna break through the team. We'll see what happens with James Garner. Probably plans for James Garner. I don't know, but the one thing that I think like that might be a big positive for getting a player like Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho has worked with Hakimi. He worked with what's his name, Piszczek, and the other American right back. I don't know what his name is, or center attack mid. I don't know, but what Jadon Sancho played with those players. Those players were nowhere. When played Jadon Sancho played with them, they became talents, like not talents, like they became like a great, like they offer attacking and defensive instructions. They're playing for the club, not like necessarily a loyalty, but quality wise for football. I think when they played with Jadon Sancho, they were incredible. Now, when you put Jadon Sancho on an Aaron Bissaka side, don't you think that he might improve Aaron Bissaka? Because a right winger or left winger, whatever, he should link up with full backs, center attacking mid, and a striker. So when you got Aaron Bissaka, I think Aaron Bissaka has been very unlucky this season, because when you talk about him being unlucky, I'm saying like not performance wise. I think he was a bit average this season, but um I think that the right wing position was changed a lot. Like Danny James played, Mason Greenwood played, sometimes Marcus Rashford did. So he didn't have a player where like he has someone to like link up with every time and understand how he wants to play and things and that, this and that. So I think Jadon Sancho might be essential for Aaron Bissaka's improvement, and I think that's why Kieran Trippier Solskjaer wants Kieran Trippier as well, because when you have a competition right back and you have someone who you can build a partnership with, then why not? And Kieran Trippier is a La Liga winner, and probably pricing Atletico Madrid pricing him out. Like I think that we might not get him. Like I'm confident 60% that we might get Kieran Trippier, because if we get Sancho, then we get a Varane or Kunde or thank God it's not Ben White, because Arsenal will probably gonna get him. So probably it will be Varane, Kunde, Pau Torres. Those for me are the list. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll see what happens with that. So on Paul Pogba as well. Paul Pogba played France with, like, he dyed his hair yellow and black, white and black. So people saying like, oh, you wanting Juventus and this and that. He said that he expected this question. And that he's focusing on the Euros, and he said it multiple times throughout the Euros, and he said it throughout the Euros, and what did he say as well? And he'll decide his future after the Euros. So I think Paul Pogba's gonna leave. I don't think he's gonna trust the process that those prats above are doing. Now look, I'm a bit hopeful here, because if we get a Jadon Sancho, then we get a top class center back. Then we might get a right back. What's left? Probably a striker next season. or a left winger. Let's see what Ollie wants, and a CDM. Like if we get those positions done, I think next season we'll see what happens. Like he should finish like at least top two, because that's not progress when you finish less than top two, unless he finishes on more points, then that's fine. But I think we should stay at top two. Yeah, uh, top two, and improving points below top two, then that's fine. But listen to this, right? If we don't win the league next season, and we still have CDM or a CDM striker left, then I think not next season, the season after, this is gonna be the season of Manchester United dynasty. I think the season I'm talking about, it's gonna be a season where Manchester United dominate Europe, because when you've got Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire, Varane, Bissaka when he's improved, De Gea or Henderson, Declan Rice, Paul Pogba, Rashford, Sancho, Bruno, striker, or let's say Holland, let's say Harry Kane, let's say let's say Anthony Martial. Why not? Why don't we say Anthony Martial? I think this team is good enough to win a Champions League or Premier League. Now look on Donny van de Beek. I think it's gonna he's we'll see, next season is gonna decide his future, whether he's gonna be the plan in plans or he's not. Because personally, I don't know how he's gonna get in the team. To be honest, I think he should be ahead of Fred and McTominay, and should be given more chances. Now, last the end of last season, when they played Wolves, and Matic was dropping back with with the back four, distributing the ball. Van de Beek had the freedom to go forward. I think we saw the real Donny Van de Beek. I think he was incredible in that game. So we'll see how Van de Beek is gonna how what's his role next season, on how he'll play instead of McTominay, play instead of Fred. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Paul Pogba leaves and Donny Van de Beek replaces him. You never know. So we'll see what happens with that. So yeah, that's what I've got really about transfer news. So if you got any questions, just tuck it in. I'm gonna be live for a few minutes. Smash that like button, subscribe. Um, any questions, lads? I'm gonna be here for a few minutes. I'm waiting on. I'm gonna be here for a few minutes and see if there are any news around any transfer news related to Man United. Um, we've got a tweet here 1 minute ago from at Henry Winter, saying that Marcus Rashford will discuss with his doctors after the Euros on whether to have an operation on his troublesome shoulder. He's been managing it throughout the season. Feels fine to play. So Marcus Rashford, as we said, beginning Jadon Sancho, if he comes plays instead of an injured Marcus Rashford, that would be a big positive, and Ollie wouldn't have the excuse to say like I'm gonna play injured Marcus Rashford because I don't have the players of quality with him. Well, hello, Jadon Sancho's looking for. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how Marcus Rashford manages his shoulder injury. Um, let's see what we got here. Nothing I can see really. Just Marcus Rashford talking about his injuries. He stayed with it from the beginning of the season. Yeah, that's about it really. For the Euros, who's the winner gonna be the winner of the Euros? Now, look, obviously everybody's gonna say France, but I don't know. It's a bit of a tough one because probably gonna say Germany because I like Germany, as you all know, and I know they're not performing like 2014, 2018. 2018 they performed shit. So so 2014 it's not like the 2014 team, but yeah, I think Germany have the manager to do so because I think they're gonna win against England because of the manager. I feel bad for England, to be honest, having a twat managing them because they won the job for the boys like Manchester United, as I said last week. So, like with all this attacking talent and playing farther back with two holding midfielders, sorry, but if I was an England fan, I would be fuming with that with this shit. To be honest, absolutely fuming. So yeah, that's about it really. Um, okay, so that's gonna be at the end of the show. I thought I would bring to you updates on Jadon Sancho, Rafael Varane, and about Manchester United and our players. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Smash that like video, subscribe, share the video, please. Share the video. We want to get to 10 subscribers like by the end of this month. So please do so. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time. Peace. And